Hey guys, me again. Welcome to my, I don't know, have no name for it, my IGTV thing that I've started. Decided it's going to be a Friday thing. I know yesterday I put up an announcement, but I think going forward, every Friday, if the inspiration arrives, I will put up a post. I've changed scenery, I'm just sitting on my doorstep. It's a glorious sunny day. But I kind of want to start with an apology and maybe a lesson for dear iPhone users. Apparently, my announcement and my little story about the 40th thing yesterday kind of confused iPhone users because when I was talking, or when they opened up the video, apparently I was upside down. Um, and I actually know why, because I recorded it this way. And for iPhone users, unfortunately, apparently their smartphones are not smart enough compared to Android phones who just, I don't know how they do it. Technology is amazing, but however you film it, an Android person can just see the video the right way around. But anyway, that got me thinking about this whole upside down thing. I'm hoping this effect works. If it doesn't, then it doesn't matter. But the effect was, I always think in lyrics, there's always a song for a certain occasion. And I was thinking about a Jack Johnson song, a song called Upside Down. And the lyrics go like this. Um, Who's to say what's impossible? Whoa, I just want to put my hand on the video there. Who's to say what's impossible? They forget this world keeps spinning, and with each new day, I can feel change in everything. And as the surface breaks, reflections fade, but in some ways they remain the same. And as my mind begins to spread its wings, there is no stopping curiosity. And then it goes into the chorus. I want to turn the whole thing upside down. I'll find the things they say that just can't be found. I'll share this love with everyone. I kind of like that. So, carrying on. But I kind of was thinking this whole thing about upside down, and I was thinking about two scriptures came to mind. Isaiah 55, which is really cool. First of all, just read the whole of Isaiah 55 if you ever have a chance. The whole chapter, but the chapter is called Invitation to the Thirsty. Seriously, what a great invitation, what an opening line, what a heading to a chapter. But I want to focus on page 10, verse 10, and maybe 11. As the rain and snow come down from heaven, and do not return to it without watering the earth and making it bud and flourish so that it yields seed for the sower and bread for the eater, so is my word that goes out from my mouth. It will not return to me empty, but will accomplish what I desire and achieve the purpose for which I sent it. I really like that. So this is God speaking. It's like rain and snow never miss the ground. Rain and snow will make it to the ground at some point. Even if it lands on roofs and gutters, it's going to hit the ground eventually. And the same with God's word. God has a purpose. God uses every single little bit, like little sermon, little books, little conversations. God will use those to reach people. Kind of like that. God just his desire to reach people, his desire to win over people. And then I thought of what Paul writes in 1 Corinthians 2. Let me just go there quickly. 1 Corinthians 2. Right in the beginning, because when I came to you, brothers and sisters, I did not come with eloquence or superior wisdom as I proclaimed to you the testimony about God, for resolved to know nothing while I was with you except Jesus Christ and Him crucified. I came to you in weakness and fear, with much trembling. My message and my preaching were not with wise and persuasive words, but with a demonstration of the Spirit's power, so that your faith might not rest on man's wisdom, but on God's power. And I've always liked that thing that Paul writes is, he never came with clever fancy words, clever gimmicks. I know there's two kind of schools of thought in the church. You have these massive, high-powered, charismatic churches, flashing lights, trendy message, trendy clothes, tats, and they bring this trendy message. And then some small little quirky countryside churches come, bumbling little granny comes and does a message, but God will use it. God will drop the mic with any message. God's got a purpose, and God will use every word that's preached to accomplish His purposes. But that's what got me thinking of this whole upside down, the whole camera flipping, is hopefully the message I shared yesterday came across. It was more just an announcement and a story, but the idea that sometimes we even feel maybe inadequate. We've preached something, we've shared something, and we feel, oh, I don't know if I really did the best job. And obviously we strive to be better and do better and improve ourselves. So that being said, I will record this way in future. I think it's right. I'm really hoping it's right now. But I will do my best to always keep this thing upright and not upside down, so that even iPhone users can get involved and enjoy an upright video. But just, I hope the imagery of upside down stays with you. And then one last thought with the upside down kingdom, or upside down, it's the upside down kingdom. And I keep thinking about Jesus. It's so cool, his upside down invitation to us to follow him. And so I think of in the world we live in, it's all about loving your friends, having good friends, keeping your friends, and we don't dig our enemies. Our enemies are not cool. And then Jesus comes and says, love your enemies. So he's talking about love your neighbor and love your enemies. And then in the world says, if I can see this, then I'll believe it. Show me, then I'll believe. And Jesus often says, believe and then you'll see. Jesus is constantly turning things around, and it's an upside down kingdom. And then we live in a world where climbing the corporate ladder, me first, succeed, achieve, that's what the world says. You first, do it, you're number one, you can do it. And then again, the gospel, Jesus says, put yourselves, put others before you. And so again, it's just something so appealing about Jesus. I want to be part of this kingdom that's so upside down, so counterculture. It's amazing. So that's the invitation. That's the Jesus. We get to follow the Jesus we get to discover. Isn't it cool? So that's a wrap. Thanks for tuning in.